Okay, good afternoon, everybody. We'll start in. Right. Okay. So we are kind of good to start. Just a request for everybody to keep your audio and video off. And right. Okay. So we'll start. I've started the recording also. Hi, good afternoon. I'm Ratnesh from Arohi, and she is Ashwati. She's here, kind of locked in the lockdown at the campus, while her parents are. Her father is logged in from hometown, which is in Kerala, and he will speak to you in just a minute. And so, what we'll do is, yeah, we will. They will share their journey in about. Uh, uh, Sorry.
Hello, Ratnesh. I really can't hear you.
Right. I think we got logged out. Okay.
Okay.
And so Ajesh and Ashwati will share their story for about 20 minutes. Okay. Let me try. Is the voice okay now?
Yeah, I can hear you, Ratnesh.
Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. So I think let's start off. So Ashwati has been with Arohi for the last 1 year, and yeah, we are totally enjoying one more open learner with us, and they will share their story. Then I'll quickly share about Arohi for about 10 minutes, and then we'll have about half an hour of Q&A. Yeah, if the voice is not good, so our internet isn't very good at the campus. So if the voice is not very good, I can switch off our video.
Breaking.
Right. So I've switched off my video. Is it better now? Yeah, you can just respond in the chat window. Is it better now? I've switched off our video.
Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay. So anyway, over to you, Ajesh and Ashwati, and you can share.
Ratnesh?
Yeah, over to you now. You can start.
Okay, great. Thanks. Okay. Here is a hello from the A family. Okay, that's Ashwati. Ashwati joining in from the campus. Ashwati and Ajay.
Hi, this is Abhishek. Hi, Ajesh.
Hello.
Can I request everybody else to keep their mics on mute as well as videos off, so that we can just focus for this 20 minutes on what Ajesh is sharing. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sure. And then Asha and myself, Ajesh. So here is our 5 years and counting journey of open learning. So for us, it all started in 2015, the end of 2015 actually, before which life was kind of normal. Achu and Apu, that's Ashwati and Ajay, they were like on the regular school, the normal school. Me, Asha and me were now in the corporate world. And as I was preparing the slide, I was like thinking back, reflecting on our journey. We're kind of happy then also. So really didn't know how to really describe it. But and then I was like, yeah, life was all normal. It was all going well because we were kind of happy. Ashwati and Ajay were in one of the very good schools, and they were academically doing really well as well in corporate life also. as per the corporate standards, we too were doing well, normal, and then like everybody else. And then, so as I thought about it as normal and like everybody else, that's when I thought about this short movie that I'd seen, short film. I think somewhere we were like everybody else. So we were becoming like everybody else. And towards the end of 2015, things slightly changed. Changed as in we decided to stop on the corporate life. There were many reasons to it. But then the big thing was we decided to move out from the corporate. And then in terms of, as in life totally changed a bit. And we did have to relocate to our native. And as we were deciding on the relocation, as well as for Ashruti and Ajay, the school. So from their existing school, we had to move out to a new school. And that's the point when we really looked at education or school, which school to send them. We worried about them having to spend a lot of time on academics, which in their previous schools, they didn't have to. So incidentally, at that point of time, we met another family also. Probably it was really do not know why I met them, but probably in terms of conversation about schooling, and met this family who were homeschooling their child, as in they were the two children whom they were homeschooling. That's the first time we heard about other options other than the mainstream or the schools. So we met that family. We decided for us to know more about that. So we met the family, we met the children, and they were following an international curriculum, and met the children, and they were happy, as in they had clear goals. The mother was helping the children homeschool them. So now we had other options coming in, and then we did, of course, do our own search. We went about searching online, and also reviewed our own education, our own schooling, what it had done to us, and how much of that was being used in our lives. So what also helped was our own corporate lives, where many of our colleagues, many of our co-workers who joined us had not come in because of their degrees, but what their ability to learn after completing their academics. So that also helped us decide to move out from schools. So, and then from there we moved to homeschooling. So when after Asha and me discussed about this, we spoke to Ashruti and Ajay and asked them their opinion. So it was end of 2015, and that we had this conversation. 2016 March is when we were planning to relocate. So when we spoke to them, we asked them what they think about it. Even though their academic year was ending in March, they said, okay, why not stop going to school from tomorrow? So they also caught on with the idea immediately. And from the academics oriented, the mainstream schools, we were exploring learning. And of course, learning expanded. There are lots of, it was busy, as you could see, how learning expanded too. So at this point, after 4.5 years, both of them kind of create their own life goals, their own schedules, weekly, monthly goals, the many of life skills that they've acquired, practiced, a lot of exposures that they've gone through, of which these are probably the ones that they keep repeating, or kind of they've developed as skill sets. As you can cook, both of them enjoy music. The emotional awareness and emotional skills that they've developed many times surprise both of us, me and Asha. They come in as advices to our life too, many of times. The quality of discussions on everything has improved. And here we also experience how each child learns differently. So like Ashwati, for her, I believe she's kind of multiple calling, multiple skills. So filmmaking is one that she's identified as one of the key, but other than that, she enjoys reading, coding, friends are a big part of her life. So that's Ashwati mainly, how apart from skills that they've together developed, while Ajay on the other side has his 70 to 80% of time dedicated on badminton. So that's where he spends most of the time on. His day, month, and year plan center around badminton. And the other portion of time he enjoys chess, music, other things. So this is how the learning has totally evolved for them. Here is how we've arrived, our learning has evolved, the multiple people who have helped us in the journey, in no specific order, but then I've also put in the link, so for all those who either haven't heard or can find more. So LSUC really helped, that is the Learning Society's Unconference hosted by Shikshantar. So we had attended 2 of the Learning Society's Unconference. Both Ashwati and Ajay had been to Sambhavana Institute, Vanagam, which is an organic farming educational organization based in Tamil Nadu. They also helped us shape our views on learning. Sarang, which is from Kerala, Huvidam in Tamil Nadu again, and Kuku Forest School. All of them in some ways have helped our journey from schooling to making us believe that there are more in the tribe. There are many who are moving or from the main academic based schooling to other options. And then from there we reached Arohi. It's like, from all the searching, it kind of ended at Arohi. It's kind of where everything came together. What for me personally, what differentiates Arohi from the rest is the complete openness. In many of the areas, many of the other institutions where either they are organic farming based or zero waste lifestyle based, where many philosophies drive them. When it came to Arohi, it was purely child based, child driven. And for me, that's a big differentiator. And for me, it all came together at Arohi. It was like the beginning of the end. So a few of the Arohi impact personally for me, for parents. So for me, through social media is how I came to know about Arohi. And from there, I subscribed to Jagriti, which is a parent teacher training session. So that was a huge life changer for me. For me, Jagriti helped me, actually gave me a lot of tools where it liberated me as a parent. Uh, my my role was more clear now. Helped me also understand where I should facilitate, not facilitate. So that way, there was a lot that Jagriti did to me. Other than Jagriti, uh, from an Arohi impact point of view, the social media, the Facebook, uh, the Telegram groups, that has a lot of stories, insights. The campus also is, for us personally, Manthan, spending time at campus, there's magic every time you are associated with the campus. Arohi continues to help us, providing us the learning community, the children, the other parents. Moving to the parental thoughts, our takeaways from uh, the learning experiences. What really has helped us as parents is the understanding that we develop of how children learn. So the moment we understood how children learn, or in fact how each of us learn, when things interest us, and then we drive our learning, we take responsibility of our learning happens. So that understanding and what is really needed for that interest to develop into learning. So a mentor, an environment where I'm not judged. So with these environment in place, how we all flourish and how children flourish, that knowledge has really helped us be at peace, have no, or have uh, the expectations. So right now, we're quite sure that with these in place, people prosper, children can really prosper. So a few philosophies that has helped us understanding was a particular book, Between Parent and Child by Haim Junod, Nonviolent Communication, Naeem Talim, which is Gandhi's Thoughts on Education, and of course, Arohi and Arohi. The current challenges that we have, it's certainly our own beliefs, habits, the ones that we've developed, a lot of conditioning that we still have. So they tend to come in between. That's our challenge currently. And we keep continuing to learn. Over to you, Ashwati, now.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, I'm Ashwati. Yeah. So, yeah. So about the decision that we took, like in the beginning when we were in going to school. So at that time, I was excited because not going to school and doing whatever I wanted to do was different and very interesting. So then later on, we took the TC from school and came back to Kerala, and the slide is gone. Okay, yeah. So we came back to Kerala, and then at that time, I was pretty confused of, like what do I do now? Because like school took up most of the time, the day, and so at that time I had a couple of interests like painting, playing the violin. So I did those stuff, and but otherwise it was kind of boring. And since we didn't go to school, there weren't many friends that we had in Kerala. So I was there. Then we started traveling, going to different camps. So meeting a lot of people, uh, getting exposed to different things. That was interesting and kind of opened my mind to the things that I could do and that. So through then I kind of figure out new stuff that I wanted to do, like filmmaking came through different camps that I attended, and yeah, so yeah, yeah, I'm back. Yeah, so then recently there was a volunteership that I attended. There was an art festival in Kerala. So it was 4 months long, and we basically volunteered with different artists around the world and helped them conduct different workshops. And yeah, so that was a really cool experience. So I was staying away from home for 4 months and kind of managing myself. So I earned 250 rupees a day. So bought my own food. Then there was an accommodation, like a hostel that I got. And I was staying there, working, buying my own food, sleeping, stuff like that. That was very nice. So as of now, like this experience has been very interesting. So I don't think, like, even I've other friends that I have that go to school, they have different lives, and this is a very interesting life, I think. And now I can know what I want to do, and through all these traveling camps, I've got friends that I talk to, be with. So that's where I am now. So life at Arohi. So coming to Arohi was nice because I think from the different spaces that I've been, I got to interact with different people, and living in a community kind of developed my social skills. And so also there's the things that I do, it kind of I got to plan and do them, and then there's reflection, so I could understand myself better through the things that I was doing. And currently I'm mainly doing filmmaking. Then I also started getting doing a couple of other things like running, which I hated before coming to Arohi. Liked it, and then I started running, playing frisbee, table tennis, and music. So yeah, and mentors also played a good role. So until now, I didn't really have like a mentor, so I was doing what I thought was right, or just figuring stuff out in whatever I was doing. So having a mentor has really helped me, guided me. And yeah, I mean, sometimes it's very frustrating because things, I might not agree with everything that they say, but in the end it's nice. It always helped me. So me, the filmmaker, so in the beginning I started off with just making films. And yeah, like I've watched films, so I tried making a film and instantly loved it. So in the beginning, my learning was mostly I make a film, I kind of find some mistakes, and there's some things that I learn, and in the next film I correct those stuff and keep on making films like that. So make, learn, like that. Now I've started, going a little bit more deeper. So in different aspects of filmmaking, currently I'm like most interested in script writing and directing, and I do other editing. And like previous, I've done acting before, which was also nice. And so I have a YouTube channel where I post all the short films that I make, and I also make some videos for different people and cover different events, that kind of thing. So me, the purpose of my life kind of a thing is I want to exist doing the things that I like with the people that I love. So I've there's a couple of things that I like to do. So in art, so I like to paint, then I like to draw comics. So I, like reading comics and then eventually started making some. And I like playing sports like frisbee, then running, table tennis, then music also. I was learning to play the violin, and later on I learned keyboard from my brother, drums from some of my friends in Arohi, then guitar by myself, like online. And um, then the movies that I watch, I write reviews about them, and I blog, write journals. And there's some things that I do because I think they're cool. For example, archery, cubing, and I kind of started coding like that, but now I've like really got interested in it. So all these things that I do, I generally do them because it. I feel that this is going to be interesting, and then I learn them till like the basic level where I can create something, and then kind of do it whenever I feel like. So for painting, I'll do for maybe 1 month. I'll be really interested in it, and then after that, I might do it only like once a year, once a month, or something like that. So I don't keep doing all of these things. And yeah, that's about me.
Okay, thank you, Ashwati. That was really um, like almost like a summary of open learning for you when Ashwati was talking about all the things that she does, and then she moves ahead, and then she comes back, and then she moves ahead, which is what, if you see the slide on your screen, shows. A lot of people ask me, actually, it's saying you're signed out because you are signed in. Yeah, it's just threw us out. Yeah, you signed in. Okay, sorry. I think some issue that happened here. Sorry, are you able to hear us, or rather hear me? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Uh, uh, some account issue happened. So what I was talking about is a lot of people ask about, hey, how is unschooling, homeschooling, free schooling, and recently I heard flexi schooling. There's so many terms that keep coming up. Well, the important thing, according to us, is that these terms are not important. It's the At any point of time, we as a family or as a community or the child, more importantly, is somewhere on this continuum. Some are more open, some have no curriculum, some have little curriculum, some have more curriculum, some have completely curriculumed, or whatever. Somewhere children are a lot of choices, somewhere children have no choices, and all of us in our journey keep moving left to right at different points of time. So what I would suggest to people is not worry about the term, whether you are doing unschooling, homeschooling, or what schooling or what learning. Just see that at this moment, what is it that is working for you and your family and your child. Yeah. So that's so open learning is the whole essence is to co-create, and the moment we say it's co-create, the whole family is co-creating, and if you are in a community, the whole community is helping you to co-create. So uh, it's together creating our own life. So let's not remove learning from life, but let's say life and learning are synonymous. So we co-create, we learn together, we live together, and with the child being the leader of herself. So in this case, Ashwati gave so many interesting examples of how she is deciding what she wants to learn, not just today, not just this week, but this whole journey of her life. And she's going deeper in something, she's going jumping from one thing to another in other areas, and that's the beauty of it. It's all very organic, all very much driven by her and her way of doing things. So the child is the leader and we are really following the leader. um, So that is what Arohi is. We call it open learning community because it's open to all kinds of learning. Yeah. Sorry, is it better now? Is the voice okay now for others? Right. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes it may just crack for one audience because your internet is not so good. So yeah. Uh, so I was talking about how Arohi is open, and as you heard us, Ashwati, you could guess it's open to whatever Ashwati is wanting to do, whatever any child is wanting to do. It could be any domain, any field, uh, any kind of doing that the child brings, and any child of any age, of any capability. There is no boundaries, as you can see that on the slide. So that is the essence and of an open learning where everything is open. Uh, when we move on to the learning, yes, you can start any learning, you can leave any learning, you can go deep in any learning, you can see whether the learning churns you or you churns the learning, and so on. So learning is also very, very dynamic. Uh, as we said, typically driven by the child, and we are all there to nudge, and sometimes more than nudge, sometimes kick, sometimes pull, sometimes push, sometimes all of those things all of us in the community do, which leads us to the third aspect of Arohi, that it's a community. And when we say community, it has a lot of parents, a lot of children, so it has grandparents, the whole age band, and different people bring in different essence to it. Um, the whole interaction within the whole community where different parents are helping different children are working with different adults, different children, whole age mixing, and so on. So it's like a whole, you can say, um, it's a whole lot of fireworks that end up because we all are a part of a together community. So that's the essence of Arohi learning, Arohi. And we have a very small video which instantly Ashwati has made about Arohi. So let's watch that for about a minute, and then we will move on to the question and answers. Ajesh, we're not able to hear the audio. Yeah. Is there audio playing on your end when you're playing the video? Because we are not able to hear the audio. Maybe you can off your video if by chance your video is on. Right. Let's try it again. Right. There's still no sound somehow. I am not sure why the sound is not coming. Okay, I think there's some issue with the audio part, so I hope you could little bit follow, yeah, with the subtitles that were there on the screen. But to hear each one of them speak and get the real audio, we'll send you the video in the mail. So, um, um, okay, so we are kind of uh, mm, we can move on to the question and answers. So, right, we can. Uh, Ajesh, when your presentation is on, your video wasn't very clear. Maybe we can switch off the presentation. That's not so important. So you can stop the sharing, and you can have your video on, so we can see you.
Sure.
Right. And yeah, so people have started already typing questions in the chat window. Aditi will kind of help moderate this. So over to Aditi for the question answers. So everybody, please use chat freely to ask questions, and we'll try to answer as many. Ajesh and Ashwati will try to answer, and me and Aditi will pitch in. And just to say that if we are not able to answer your question within this half an hour, we'll see how best we can still respond to you later on. But let's try to cover as many as we can.
Hi, Aditya. Uh, uh, Pani Selvam is asking, can my kid write 10th standard board directly without going to regular school? Yes, your child can go. There is a government board called NIOS. Last Saturday's webinar, we covered Adarsh, one of our child, is also going through, and few more are doing NIOS. So maybe you can visit the website and get more detail. There is a website of NIOS. Yeah. Saurabh is asking, how old are the kids currently? At what age they started with this concept of alternate education? Maybe is this question to Ajesh, that how old are your children? Or Saurabh, you're asking how old are the children at campus? Neetu wants to know more about. Yeah, Saurabh is saying it's for Rajesh. Yeah, Ajesh.
So,
This question is for you. How old are the children and what age they
yeah,
start?
Ashwati is moving to 16 now, and Ajay is 15. So we've been doing it for around 4.5 years now. So yeah.
Okay. Neetu is asking, I need more information about Aruhi. Neetu, I think we'll keep it right now. Questions related to Ajesh and Ashwati, maybe we can connect separately. And meanwhile, you can also visit our website, arohi.org. I'll move on to next question. Shweta is asking, Ajesh, this question is, or Ashwati, it's for you. Maybe you can guide. What is a good age to consider unschooling?
And I don't think so. The age matters. Like, according to me, you can just.
For me personally, the earlier the better.
Okay, Ratnesh here. I want to add, I would say children are born unschoolers. From 0 to whenever you don't send them to school, they are unschooled. So, they, yeah, they're born unschoolers, and they would live their whole life if you want them as unschooled.
Yeah, maybe you can answer the next question, Ajesh. Does this work if children are located in other places besides Bangalore? I'm assuming Aditya is asking, does the unschooling works or Arohi? Maybe Ajesh can share a bit about unschooling, and then I can add on to how does Arohi can add if you're outside Bangalore.
Yeah. So for us, our association, Ashwati's association specifically with Arohi has been a year long now. Before which, around 3.5 years, it's we together as a family, we were exploring life and learning together. So it can work anywhere.
Yeah, so Aditya, to add to what Ajesh is saying, yeah, it can happen at home, it can happen in combination with Arohi, it can happen only in Arohi. So there are various combinations possible. Children who are outside Bangalore, they stay even like Ashwati, Ajish, and Asha, and
Ajay, yeah.
Ajay, they are in Kerala. In fact, Ajay is in Hyderabad for his training. Host muted. Am I muted? No, can you
No, no,
hear
we
me?
can hear you. Yeah, yeah, we
Okay,
can hear
fine. Okay, so there are, so Ashwati stays here with us as a in the community. We stay even the weekends. Children who come from Bangalore, they go back home on Friday. They come back on Monday. Rest of the children who come from outstation, they stay. They design their when they will be here, when they will be going back. So that's how it works for the children who are outside Bangalore. And if you need more information, maybe you can connect with Ratnesh. Let me take Somitra's question. She's saying, can Ashwati share a YouTube channel? I think she has typed it. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. You can have a look. Um, Ashwardhani is asking, is ROE open during the lockdown? Yeah, in a way, yes and no. We are only 8 of us staying here together. Rest of the children, when Arohi in that sense is closed, we are just living here inside, isolated. uh, Kinnari is asking, what if the kids is not self-driven? So maybe Ajish, you or Ashwati, you can share. Maybe Ashwati can share her point of view. What does it mean that the kids are not self-driven? And Ajish can add.
Okay, so if the child is not self-driven, they'll be doing something. Like you can't just simply sit there, right? So think like you'll eventually figure out what you want to do by themselves. That's what I think.
And did you get it? Yeah, Ajish, you want to add to this?
Yeah, for me, whenever I've worked with children or seen children, self-driven means not being self-driven means they've not found their interest. So currently, whatever they're having uh, probably is not interesting them at this point of time. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
And it doesn't mean that it wouldn't interest them later. It
yeah.
could interest them, in some other way. That's the
Yeah.
only thing it means.
Yeah, and I also want to add to it that just because maybe we are sharing a one story of Ashwati who felt at the age of 16 that she is into filmmaking, but I think the doors are open for her after 6 months if she feels. In fact, in between, did she did come to me and discuss that I think I'm getting more interested in coding, and then we said go ahead, and then she back to the filmmaking. But the doors are open for her from Arohi as well as from Ajesh and Asha, that you choose how do you want to go about it. But there are also children who at the age of 16, like our own daughter, she decided not to choose anything at that age, not even at 18, not even at 20. So uh, I think so this whole concept of self-driven, if we are comparing with following one particular interest or getting interested into, I think we need to separate them out. I hope Kinnari, that gives
What
some.
I want to also add, Aditi, saying that
Yeah, Ajish.
even for Ashwati, she mentioned how she developed the interest of running once she came to the campus. So
Mhm.
here, when we used to go running, she was one person who wouldn't join us. So, yeah, and then she ended up running a 10-kilometer marathon out there. So, how
Yeah.
interests come, they develop it. It even keeps changing.
Yeah, it's like different weather. We don't know when that weather will do what to you. So I think it's quite interesting how they are able to lead. I think it's for us also is the same thing, right? Um,
Yeah.
okay, so Anu is asking, first time parent of 2-year-old, how to go about unschooling while being in corporate job. Uh, Ajesh, you want to share?
I think I'll have to pick words from
Okay,
Ratnesh,
I think
as
I'll
in
invite
no, Ratnesh.
Ratnesh. Yeah.
Yeah, the logistics part, I think that Nish, I think you should answer.
See, if you're saying you are in a corporate job, does it mean that your 2-year-old has to be in a school? Not necessary. The 2-year-old is learning. Now we can choose to put the child in school for the child to learn, or the child can learn at home. Obviously, you will have to have somebody at home, either if you are not at home, the other parent or grandparent, or that part will have to be taken care of, I guess. But otherwise, also I want to give this perspective that in any which way, all of us are all the time working. There is nothing like a non-working person. The only aspect could be who is where physically, but otherwise we are all working, whether you are at home, whether you are at in an office, or whether you are traveling, or wherever you are, whether you are 10-year-old or whether you are 50-year-old, everybody is working in this world. I don't see anybody non-working, but they may be at different places. So it is not necessary for parents to be, first of all, only parents who are let's say housewives or something like that can homeschool. That's not true. And the other aspect is that you don't need to spend a lot of time with the child. Often the child will demand your time and will then also develop how the child wants to use her time or his time. So we need to only understand the child needs and cater to them, rather than looking at it from the perspective of, oh, I need to devote a lot of time. Yeah, and different children at different ages will have different time needs, so we can't generalize on anything.
Yeah, so Anu, if your child is not going to school, the child is already being unschooled. You just need to figure out some logistics and continue the journey. Rupali is asking, what is parents' real responsibility in the new scheme of things? We are used to a different normal. Maybe Ajesh, you want to take up this?
Yeah. In terms of, I think, like I did mention in the slide, the understanding of how children learn is very important. And once that is there, how to facilitate, when to intervene, when not to intervene, those things have to be quite clear. Once that is clear, I think a lot of worries go away and then things start to fall in place. This is what I have experienced. I think
Ashwati, you want to add what is parents' responsibility?
I mean, for me, I have always, like whenever I want my parents to do something, I ask them. But yeah, I mean, it's as a like another perspective on things that I'm doing, like kind of like a guiding kind of thing.
Thank you. I hope, Rupali, you got some insight into it. Saurabh is asking to Ajesh, what are they planning to do professionally?
I think, though Saurav asked me, I think the question is more towards Ashwati, I feel.
I want to be a filmmaker, so that's what I'm gonna make films.
Yeah, and I think Ajay is working on. Ajay is there.
Ajay is on the Ajay. See, for me, Saurav, how I look at things is, at this point of time, Ajay's interest for badminton and Ashwati's interest for filmmaking is driving their learning. Okay, that's what I'm seeing, I'm celebrating, I'm enjoying. And that learning is taking them through lots of other learning. So Ashwati is learning psychology along with her interest in filmmaking, because psychology is needed, understanding people is needed for her in films. For Ajay, badminton is what his passion is, that's what is driving him. But he now understands the chemistry of food, how each food, the nutrients are important for how his muscles work. So what, he probably knows every single muscle, how it helps in the movement. And when any of us in the family are injured, he comes to help us. So where they'll actually come in and what professional life they will choose at a later point in time is for us to wait and watch. But
Mhm.
I'm definitely sure that they're learning, they're growing.
Yeah, quite beautifully, Ajish, you put up. Yeah, we don't know uh, what they will be after 10 years, but we know what they are today and what they are learning. Quite beautiful. Thanks. I hope this gives you a different insight than what maybe you were asking for. Um, I think Ashwini is asking similar options available in Mumbai or Thane. Yeah, you can. I think Ajesh also shared couple of websites and the connection. There are different people doing different kind of things. Uh, and no two places are similar in that sense. So maybe you can visit different places, connect with different people, and then add to your basket how you get the different kind of experiences. Hope that answer your question. Neetu is asking, where can I get more detail on homeschooling? Ajish, you want to share this?
I'm sorry, what's that? Sorry.
She is asking, where can I get more details on homeschooling website or any group details?
Yeah, I think whatever I've shared should then guide them to the rest. We can give them
Yeah.
more details later.
Yeah, there's a group also called Swa Section. Ratish, can you type in the chat window name of the Swa Section? They are they're a group of homeschoolers, unschoolers, and their whole idea is to support people to understand homeschooling. I hope that answer your question, Neetu. Ashwati is typing about Swashikshan. Mm, Sheetal is saying, I'm homeschooling my 2.5 daughter. I'm from Gujarat. I don't have any community in my city. How to create community of like-minded people?
Uh, well, I think the community happens in some way. When you start the journey, you don't start thinking you will create a community, but when you start doing, you will automatically connect with other people who are also doing unschooling, and then you will move in that direction. It will evolve in different ways. I don't think there is one needs to design it in advance. So I guess it will happen. You have to start your journey, and then other people who are on a similar journey will connect with you, and you will connect with them. And yeah.
So Sheetal, I can also add to what Ratnesh is saying. Is when we started homeschooling our daughter, who was I think at 10 year, so almost 11 years back. When we took the decision, we thought we are the only one doing it in the city, in the country. Um, but we realized when we closed all other doors and opened new doors, and we thought, oh my god, there's a whole new world, there's a whole lot of things are happening. And that was quite beautiful, but we needed to question what was happening at that time. Our daughter was doing very well in school, as I think Ajish is sharing how Ashwati and Ajay were doing normal in normal schooling. But we question and we open new doors, and we found not only community, we found lots and lots of different aspects of living life. Ratish, you want to add something?
No, no, not to this question. There are a number of questions I see in the chat window which are more logistical, like where can I find more information and those kind of questions. What I will request you is to join the Telegram group. We have a Telegram group, and that is a place where a lot of resources can be shared with you if you need help with NIOS or with other informations regarding either ROHE or NIOS or any examinations or different things. So let's focus more on questions, yeah, which are not logistic related, but more related to, yeah.
Okay, so next question is for Ajesh. Tanya is asking, do you think that the initial years of formal education of children has helped with the experience of unschooling? And the next question is for Ashwati, but I think let Ajesh you go ahead.
It's for me, it depends. For Ashwati and Ajay, kind of has helped. What has helped is many of the interests that they've developed, they've kind of picked it from their initial school days. But having said that, I don't think that was the only way for them to have picked up. Their journey was this: they picked up those interests. There could have been any other journey or no schooling, no exposure to school, but exposure to their interests, multiple exposures with uh, a support infrastructure, support system, or with support in place. That's what is important. It has nothing to do with the school they went to.
Yeah, so our own son, 14-year-old, has never been to any school, and I think neither we nor he personally feel that there is anything lacking in terms of the basic skills which a child needs to have, and it's a different thing that he decided to learn reading and writing at the age of 8, and we as parent had to wait and be with him till he decided. And but again, it's another thing that when by the time he was 10, he was reading Harry Potter. That was, as Ajesh said, that how they get exposed to their interest, and how he started to read is again another story, because it was driven by his interest. So I'm there with Ajesh that uh, in that sense it really doesn't matter what is the formal education what the child has gone through. um, Another question I think Tanya is again asking to Ashwati is that is there an isolation that the child experiences, especially in terms of peer learning and the lack of it?
Maybe she's comparing schooling versus when you are in unschooling. Is there a lack of peer learning, or did you feel that way?
So in the initial years, I think I felt that I wasn't having enough friends. But then later on, like when I got my own circle of friends and other people who were unschooling, they might like the camps, and I don't think so. That's there that much, like the isolation, or I don't have people to talk to like that. I didn't feel that. And also friends, when I look at it, peers, they don't necessarily need to be my age. Like everyone's a peer that way, if I look at it.
Hope that answers your question, Tanya. Shweta is asking, how does outstation Arohi combination of learning work? Maybe let me just check. There are a couple of more questions. I'll skip at this moment. Logistic question related to Arohi. Shweta, connect with us over phone or telegram. We shall be. I'll skip Aditya your question also at this moment. And so Prabhakant. Okay. Senthil Kumar is asking, I want my daughter to get into government job or bank job. Does this can be achieved here? Any past examples from Aruhi? Uh, okay. Ajish Ratnesh is asking, do you want to answer this question?
The question was, I want my
Daughter to get into government job or bank job.
yeah. For me, it's if it's driven by the child. If your child wants to get into a bank job, he'll definitely figure out. But if you want your child to get in, then it might be a difficult.
Yeah. Satish is asking, one parent is regular schooling opting and another open schooling. What do we do? Ajish, did you have that experience?
One,
One parent opting for regular schooling and another parent opting for open schooling, Satish is asking.
I think it has to be debated, discussed, and one decision has to be
Yeah,
reached.
Ratnesh wants to add.
Yeah, I think Satish, and I think somebody else has also, Kanupriya has also mentioned the similar question when different family members are not on the same page. I would look at this kind of a dynamics as something positive. Remember, we talked about open learning or unschooling or living for that matter. Let's not even talk about any other term. We all like living, right? Living is a journey of co-creation. It cannot be like everybody has to agree. Only then things will happen. If the dialogue is on, as Ajesh was just now mentioning, if we are not hell-bent on that this is my idea and only my idea should go through, but everybody's idea is taken through and then the journey evolves, whether it is at school, there's nothing wrong with school, there's nothing wrong outside school. So then that is what life is all about. So I guess uh, please carry on your journey of co-creation and let's see where it leads. That is the beauty of life.
Aditya is asking, what about hyper kids? Is this too unstructured for them?
Aditi, my experience with, I've been knowing children. For one, of course, hyperactive is kind of a label. It just means the child is full of energy. And when the child is full of energy, the more structured the program, the more difficult it's for the child. So for me, for a child who is lots of energy, the normal school is not the way to go. This is my personal.
Yeah, so I also want to add, Aditya, that I think these are the labels which are given by society, or I don't know who is that society. I will say labels given by us only, due to the lack of misunderstanding about the children. And personally, in our dictionary, there is nothing like hyperactive. As Ajish is saying, that it's just that different energy that child has, or we all have different energy as different timings, and all we need to do is to understand that energy, rather than putting them in labels are very comfortable for adult, because once we put those labels, then the entire onus is on the child. But if we remove those labels and start understanding the children, I think the journey is much different. As you're asking, is it too unstructured for them? I think there is there is a maybe a myth that open schooling means no structure. Ajish also shared that the children created their own scheduled, own structure, own learning plan. The only difference was that they were leading. When he was when he children were at home, initial slides which Ajish had shared, and even at Arohi or even at any place, I think when they go through open schooling means I'm the leader. I'm deciding my path, my journey. And there are times when Ashwati has put his her planning half an hour, and then we would question that, not questioning, just that we just keep, okay, is that what you want to follow, this life structure? And she would say, yes, I want to. And then sometimes she will come back and say, no, I just want to give up this structure and I want to be, let it flow. And then we'll say, yeah, let whichever way. So both decisions for her, but I think both learnings for were her own. So she decided her own structure. uh, Ashwati has also put up her YouTube channel. Somebody was asking, yeah, Saurabh, you got it. Aditya is asking, my child enjoys schools but not for learning. Hates academics, but he would not like to leave the school. So do you think the option should be for kids like this?
Okay, can I share how our daughter also was not really wanting to leave school. She was in a regular school till fourth standard, and she wasn't really very keen on when we gave her the option of open learning because she didn't know what open learning was all about. But at least in school, she had a lot of friends, so she wasn't really very keen on leaving school. But I guess once they move out, then they realize what all is there, and they obviously make new friends. Ajesh, what has been your experience?
Yeah, I think for I don't know from Ajay's and Ashwati's perspective, I really don't know. But then other friends have seen children who've uh, come to homeschooling, then missed school, have gone back to school, then have missed homeschooling and come back to homeschooling. So yeah,
Ashwati, you
So,
want to add to this? Ashwati is saying no. Okay, fine. Shweta is asking Telegram detail. Can you, Ratnesh? Can you? Ratnesh has posted up. Uh, Nishrin is asking, at any point do you doubt your decision? Maybe this answer, Ajish or Ashwati.
oh, I wish I had taken it a few years earlier.
So, in
I don't.
continuation, Nisrin is also asking that if you have doubt, what do you do then? Ashwati, you want to also add to what Ajish is saying?
I don't know. I think this works the other way also. Like you go to school and then you regret going or whatever, not going to school. Like you can't like doubting decision. What I do then is whatever I feel like doing, then I'll do. Or whatever.
Uh, and I would like to expand this to again in life, we can doubt any decision. So doubting is good. That makes us reflect into it deeply, look into it deeply, spend more time understanding our needs and so on. So I think doubting is absolutely wonderful. If you're doubting, it's awesome. If you're not doubting, I'll be worried.
Yeah, so our own daughter, she hasn't given 10th, but when she was at that age, uh, she would come and ask me once in a while that is my decision correct. I see all children of my age around me rushing for doing 10th, and they seems to be busy in 10th, and I'm not busy with 10th preparation. Is there anything which I'm missing? That one doubt would bring a lot of discussion, lot of understanding, lot of research, lot of even questioning ourselves that okay, not means that what is that I want to do. So I think these doubts brings a lot of joy, I would say. But as a parent, as Ajish is saying, no, he's saying no. I never had any doubt. Neither we as parent had any doubt. Um, Vinish is asking how Ashwati used to respond about homeschooling initially when meeting relatives and cousins.
Um, as long as I remember, no one like really opposed to whatever like to not going to school, and because it was different, everyone was interested to know what I'm doing. So that was a bit boring after some time because you had to explain to everyone. But otherwise, like it didn't really bother me also what they thought or whatever. It was-
Then it was also funny at times. I figured out they kept giving different answers also based on the kind of person who is asking. Like Ashwini said, it got boring after a while because there were discussions where Ajay would actually mention some school name that he's going to, and it didn't so happen that one of the person to whom that he was speaking happened to work in that school. Then he had to actually change topic, so that was a learning for him also.
Oh, yeah, very interesting. Saurav is asking, yeah, I think Ratnesh, can you just type again section's name? Uh, Yashwardhani is asking any homeschooling groups in Jaipur. Yeah, Yashwardhani, you can just a little more research on the internet. I think Ratnesh also has couple of uh, uh, whatever the links and all. Maybe he can share with all of you through the email for you to get connected with different people who are doing the homeschooling. Mm, Parul is asking at which age we should trust the child and honor his decision. Small kids can be fickle minded. Ajish, you want to?
I don't know. I think everybody is. Even at this age, I keep changing my decisions. So
Yeah, so yeah, I think I'm there with Ajish. Um,
yeah, we can't put an age to it. It's
yeah,
flowing. Learning is flowing. So
yeah. Just I think just want to check. It's 4-8, and I think this was the last question. Some of you have a couple of questions about Aruhi. I will try to collate, and when we are sending the email, since you've registered with us, we'll try to send all the information, or you can stay online. What do you think?
We had kept the time 3 to 4, but I'm okay staying back little more and answer questions regarding Arohi, and other people who had more come to meet Ajesh and Aswati can actually sign out. So yeah,
Sure.
I can be here for some more 10-15 minutes and answer your questions regarding Arohi.
Yeah, I think that's all about all the question. And anytime you have any other question, you can always connect with us. And I think I just want to say thanks again to Ajish and Ashwati. Ajish is in Kerala, Ashwati is in campus. Both of them together created this space for all of us to know about their journey. So thank you, Ajish. Ratnesh wants to say.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think when people who are wanting to understand unschooling, homeschooling meet other parents and other children, that is really wonderful. So thank you for being there for people online who wanted to meet you. And again, repeating, while I'm here for 10-15 more minutes, you can ask me questions regarding Arohi. And if you don't want to ask now, but you have later any questions, you can freely get in touch with us. Please pick up your phone and call us, or send us a mail, or use Telegram or WhatsApp to Aditi, or whatever format you want. Yeah. So, yeah,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashwati.
Thank you.
Right. So I'm still around. People who want to ask questions regarding Arohi, can you just retype your question so that I know you are there and what specific is your question? Or you can copy paste from the chat. And if you want to sign out, meanwhile, others, you can do that. Yeah, I think Shweta wanted to know.
I wanted to know this statement.
Yeah, Shweta, yeah, you can be through connected through Telegram. That way, the advantage of the Telegram group is that there are more people other than Arohi. Otherwise, you can just, if you just want to be connected to Arohi, you can follow us on our Facebook page. You can follow us on our on Instagram, I think, and also you can check out our website and always call us and come and meet, or however. So all options are available. Um, Sure, Shweta, you can just pick up your phone if you want to. If you just want to talk right now, obviously we can't meet in person in the sense of physically, but we can always talk on the phone. So feel free to just call us on any of our numbers. I'm sure in the mail you have our numbers. Um, Okay. Then Monica is asking after lockdown. So Monica, the way Arohi works, any family from anywhere in this world can come anytime to the campus and stay with us. So we don't have a residential program, but we have a residential welcome to you. Anytime, please come over, stay with us. Obviously, after the lockdown, after we reopen, so we will have to formally do that, but yeah, anytime. And there's on the website there is an option of registering for a stay visit or a day visit, and your stay visit can be of any duration. So please check out details at on the website, or give me a call and I can help you out. um, so, Chinmay, I guess your question is also answered in the previous response, that yes, you can just come and stay at Arohi with your child, maybe for a week, maybe a few weeks, so that the child explores Arohi and you explore Arohi, and we can take it. Um, uh, 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 okay, so that's one question. Ponlata is asking, hi Ponlata, good to see you again. She's asking, how is Ashwati learning psychology? Yes, Ashwati is learning psychology, but in many different ways, not only from the textbook kind of thing or books. She has joined a course, an online course, plus she keeps reading different things, and I guess movies themselves is a lovely course on psychology. I would suggest, like, history can be learned from psychology, language can be learned from sorry, can be learned from movies, psychology can be learned just by watching movies.
Yeah, to give the answer specific to psychology, she got interested in psychology because for filmmaking, when she was writing the script writing, she felt that she needed to know the people's emotions and how things work. So she on her own found a course to understand about psychology. Meanwhile, she was also reading couple of books, and that's how she moved on. And she would discuss back with us, write reviews about what are the things happening in that course. So I think that's how she's going about it.
Thanks, Aditi, for that input. Somebody wanted to know my name. I'm Ratnesh, and that was Aditi. We are from both from Arohi. The next question, Aditya is saying, oh, okay, yeah, that's common, Aditya. Parents, meaning parents finding it difficult at the time of lockdown. Yes, that's very common. Simply because the parents are being forced to learn the syllabus. They are being, if we take the force out of it, if we take the forcing out of it, then children, and invite children to actually explore what they like exploring, they can do and learn a lot of things, but they may not learn a syllabus because that's a forced thing, that's not coming from inside them. In fact, we are running a parallel program on self-directed learning at home, precisely helping parents to understand how you can do this self-directing learning at home even though the children are otherwise going to school. If you want more, the course is going on, you can catch up on the videos. Aditya, just shoot me a mail, I'll send you the link, you can catch up. 6 sessions have happened in that program for parents on self-directed learning, so we can definitely share that with you and you can see if that helps you. Okay. Chandra Papa is asking, role of Arohi in shaping a child's education. Okay, so Chandrababa, what the campus actually offers is exactly 3 things we talked about. It offers openness for any child, any age, any interest, any kind of doing. It offers all of those things to the child, and it offers any kind of learning opportunity. So, like, child can choose what to learn from, right from embroidery to rocket science to drumming to whatever the child can think of. So that's what the campus offers. And the third thing that the campus offers, or Arohi offers, is the community. So if you're asking for counseling, the whole community is there to support the child, and the child is also going to support all the other members in the community. So we are all in it together, and all the children's, all the parents are counseling or supporting. I would rather use the word supporting. uh, so that's the beauty of a community. Imagine all the children and all their parents all together helping anybody and everybody. Their parents reach out to not just their child, but all the other children and see who can help who. Okay, so that's what ROE offers. More you can explore through our website. I think that will give you a better understanding. And whenever we are able to reopen after the lockdown, you're most welcome to come and visit and experience it for yourself. Uh, okay, Aditya is saying reading, writing doesn't happen on its own. Aditya, that's actually not correct. Reading, writing happens on their own, on its own. And for that matter, everything happens on their own. My son has never been to a school. Nobody ever told him that you should learn how to read or write, and he learns read or write. And I'm just not giving my son's example. There's so many children in ROE who want to read and write because they want to read and write. They see storybooks full of mystical experiences, so they want to read. They don't want to read because it's part of their curriculum, because they want to read. They want to write because they want to send mails to their messages, or WhatsApp to their, sorry, mails to their friends, or WhatsApp to their friends, or whatever. So reading, writing, or for that matter, anything can evolve out of my exposure, my need, my desire, my journey. And our role then becomes of exposure, of invitations. If the child has a lot of invitations, child has a lot of exposure, in due course of time, the child will pick up what the child needs. Like how Ajesh was mentioning, when his son started playing badminton, then he understood the need of nutrition. Now we can't force nutrition down children. They hate veggies, many of them. I used to hate veggies when I was a kid. But when I look at my health in a different way at a different point of life, then I start taking care of the veggies. So that's how it works for anything, I guess. Uh, Vinish is asking, is there any documentation at Arohi? Yes, Vinish. Arohi's website is full of documentation about children. So please go ahead and look through that. You will have to shift through a lots and lots of, there are at least about 2,500 blogs. So you'll have to shift through them to discover. Uh, if you try and capture a journey in 1 page or 2 pages, then I think that doesn't give justice to open learning, because open learning is not about one kind of fulfilling, one kind of, it's not a meal that we are serving to the child that the child should fulfill at the end of it. It's the child who's using the space like Arohi and the space like this world to grow in his life. So the onus of the child's life and child's learning being fulfilling has to be on the child, not on Arohi, not even on the parents, I would say. Are you getting me? It is, to me, the whole responsibility of somebody being contented, happy, fulfilled, growth depends on that person, that child. We need to give that responsibility to that child. Look at a 2-year-old or a 1-year-old. They want to fulfill their needs to walk, to talk, to touch, to open, to explore, to break things. They are not looking at somebody should make my life fulfill. But look at us, 8-year-old, typical 8-year-old will say, I'm so bored. Why? Because now he's used to others fulfilling his needs. So he can say, I am bored. A 1-year-old is never bored. When he wants to sleep, he sleeps. When he wants to run, he wants to run. So if you look at it from that perspective, it's the same at ROE. ROE's job is not to fulfill anybody's needs. ROE is a space. Come use the space the way you want. You design your learning, you design your life. I hope I'm able to get the to get the essence of life education, which isn't really in the hands of somebody else. Somebody else can only offer a relationship of people, of resources, of environment, but how you build and use those relationships for your learning is up to you. If you crib, then it's your choice. If you gain inspiration and enlightenment, then that's also your choice. Yeah, that's the way at least we look at it. I don't even look at it partially. I look at it, the onus of everybody's life is on them. The rest is all there to support, and we are all well-wishers. We are all here to support the child, the whole community. But it's the child's onus, and that's where the whole journey starts. When the child starts realizing that it is my journey, and that's the, I would say, that's the beginning of the journey, you can say. Yeah. Aditya, I may not have your email offhand, so you can just send me a small mail reminding me to send you the links of self-directed learning, and I'll do that as promptly as I can. Right. Anybody else has a question? You're most welcome to give us a call or write an email to us. And as I said, the best way is to join the Telegram group, because there are so many people who can give you so many perspectives. They're not even from, only few from Arohi. Many people are just unschoolers and homeschoolers who can really help and guide you. So once again, inviting you to join the Telegram group, at least when you feel that you have a need for it. Yeah. Okay, so let's pause here. Thank you very much for joining the session. And we would send you a mail with the basic resources that we have promised you. Rest, if you feel you have not got something, feel free to connect with us. Thank you. Okay, yeah, hi Shalini, good to see you being part of a webinar. Okay, hope to see you sometime soon. Yeah. Okay, bye bye everybody, and have a safe living and wonderful learning life. Thank you.